Okay, in your math books, we're going to be on page 213. Last week, we started talking about percentages. What is a percent?
Comparing a part to a whole.
It's a part to a whole, right? We're still comparing a part to a whole. All right, in a school football game, Marcus completes 3 out of 4 pass attempts. How would I write that ratio? 3 out of 4. 3 over 4, good. Terry completes 7 out of 10 pass attempts. How would I write that one? Good. Who has the better record of successful pass attempts? How can I find that? I have to turn them both into percentages. So what's the whole that I'm trying to get to? 100%, right? How do I get from 4 to 100? 4 times what is 100? You should know it. Think quarters. 25. So what's 3 times 25? Focus. 3 times 25 is what? 75%. So Marcus completed 75% of his passes. Okay, Terry, do I know the part that we're trying to get to? Do I know the whole that we're trying to get to? What is it? So how did I get from 10 to 100? Times 10. What we do on the bottom, so 7 times 10 is 70%. So Terry completed 70% of his passes. Who had the better pass rate? Marcus. 75% is better than 70. Okay, what is 32% of 25? Okay, we're going to do the part to the whole. Do I know the part to the whole for percent?
No.
I don't? What's the part of the percent? 32%. Over, what's the whole percent? Say it louder. Everybody, what's always the whole percent? Okay, do I know the part that we're trying to get to? I do?
No.
I don't, right? We want to find if all of this is 25 and I want to find 32%. So all of it's 25. Do I know the part? No. What's the whole? Come on, guys. 25. So how did I get from 100 to 25? Divide by 4. So what's 32 divided by 4? Corbin, I need you to sit up. Have to pay attention. 8. So what is 32% of 25? 8. Okay, I'm going to show you another way to do it. So they have what is 32% of 25? Okay, we're going to turn this word sentence into a math sentence. Okay, what, if I look at just that word, that's our unknown or our variable, right? So I'm going to put a question mark. You can put any letter for the variable. I'm just going to put the question mark. Pay attention. Is, when you see is in math, what does that mean? 2 plus 2 is 4. Equals. Okay, 32%. What's 32% as a decimal? How many times do I move that decimal? Twice. What is 32% as a decimal? When I see the word of, what do I do? Times 25. So now all you have to do is plug it into your calculator. 0.32 times 25. 8. Is that what we got? Yeah. So 8. Okay. All right. Bree wants to save 40% of her weekly pay. So she wants to save 40% of 250 as a lifeguard. How much does she plan to save each week? Okay, let's do our ratio. Do I know the part to whole ratio for the percent? What is it? 40% over. Do I know the part of the money she's trying to save? Do I know the part that she's trying to save? Do I know the whole amount that she makes each week? What is it? $250. So I have to figure out how did I get from 100 to 250. How can I do that? 250 divided by 100, I get 2.5. What we do on the bottom, we 40 times 2.5, and I get 100. So how much money should she be saving each week? $100. Okay. I'm going to put it in that sentence form. What am I asking myself? What is what? And what was her weekly pay? So what is 40% of 250? Okay. What do I do for what?
Is that an average pay actually?
I have no idea.
Yours.
I know what they make per hour. It depends on how many hours they work. Okay. All right. What do I do for what? No, question mark. That's our unknown. That's our variable. You can also do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever letter you want, right? Corbin, look at the board. What do I do for is? Okay, what do I have to do to 40% when I have it in the sentence? Move the decimal how many places?
2.
1, 2. So 40% becomes 0.40. What do I do for of? And then 250. So I'm going to take 0.40 times 250. I would get 100. Same thing, right? When I do it this way, do I have to change 40% to a decimal?
No.
No, because I'm putting it over 100, right? When you do it in the sentence form, do you have to change your percent to a decimal? Yes. Okay. We want to find 45% of 80. Okay. Part to whole, what do I know? 45% over everybody, over what? Do I know the part that we're trying to get to? No, but do I know the whole? What is it? So how did I get from 100 to 80? Divide by something. How am I going to figure it out? 1.25. I'm going to double check. Is 100 divided by 1.25 80? Yes, it is. So now what do I need to do? I get 36. Okay. So what is 45% of 80? 36. We're going to do our sentence now. What is 45% of 80? Okay, what do I do for what? Question mark. What do I do for is? What do I have to do to 45%? Move my decimal, right? Move it twice, so 0.45. What do I do for of? And then 80. 0.45 times 80, and I get 36. Is that what we got? So, because I'm asking, what is 45% of 80? If I did what is 80 of 45%, it wouldn't be right, right? I want to know what is 45% of 80. Okay, so 36. All right, Alyssa has to make 250 total invitations for a party. She's completed 72% of them. How many invitations has she completed? All right, part to whole. What do I know? Corbin. 72, no, 72% over 100%. Do I know the part that I'm trying to get to?
No.
Do I know the whole?
Yeah.
What is it? 250. So I have to figure out 100 times what is 250, right? What do you think it'll be? 2.5. So I'm going to take 72 times 2.5 and I get 180. So how many invitations has she completed? 180. All right, let's do our sentence. What would our sentence be?
What is 72% of 250?
Right. What is 72% of 250? Hey, Corbin, what do I do for what?
No idea.
It's our unknown, right? So if it's our unknown, what would I put there? The variable, or I'm just going to put a question mark. Okay, what do I do for is, Corbin? If I said 2 plus 2 is 4, what does is mean? 2 plus 2 equals. So is, what do I put for is, Corbin? Equals. What do I do to 72%? I have to move the decimal, right? How many times do I move the decimal? 2. So what would it be? 0.72. What do I do for of? In math, when you see the word of, what do we do? Times 250. So now I can just plug that into my calculator. We get 180. So how many invitations does she have done? 180. Okay, Scott planted 20% of his garden with roses. What's the area of the part of the garden that's planted roses? Well, what do I have to find first? The area of the whole thing. How would I find the area of the total area of the garden? Just length times width times height is volume. I want area. So 10 times 5 would be 50 square feet. So we want to know what is 20% of 50 square feet. Part to whole that I know. 20% over 100%, right? Do I know the part of the garden that's roses? I do. Do I know the whole garden? What is it? 50. How'd I get from 100 to 50? What we do on the bottom, so 20 divided by 2 is? So what area of the garden is roses? 10 square feet. Okay. Corbin, you gotta pay attention, but split with the calculator. Okay. What would my sentence be?
What is 20% of?
Corbin, you're about to lose it. And then you won't get to have it for the homework. What is 20% of? No. 50 square feet. Okay, Corbin, let's set this up. What do I do for what? That's our variable, our unknown. Question mark. What do I do for is? What do I have to do to 20%?
Decimal.
And how do I do that? Move it. Move it twice.
Yeah.
So from the back, 1, 2, so it'd be 0.20. What do I do for of? Times 50. Okay, plug it in my calculator. 0.20 times 50, and I get 10. 10 square feet. Okay. Okay, Shonda has $125. She spends 35% of the money she has on a concert tickets. How much did Shonda pay for the concert ticket? So what are we trying to find here? 35% of, okay, you solve it. If you want to do it the sentence way, what is 35% of 125? You can. Or if you want to do it the fraction way, you can. 35% of 125. Corbin, I need you to solve it. Corbin, look at me. What is, look at me, 35% of 125? Do it. Not 35. What do you have to do to the percent? Move the decimal, right? Not 35 times 125. You have to move the decimal. Hey, are we done? Are you done? We'll talk about it in a second. Guys, all you have to do is plug it in the calculator, right? What are you plugging into the calculator?
35.
Hey, so 0.35 times 125. What do I get? So she spent $43.75. Is that what you got? Don't make it harder than it is. Okay, it's easy. Okay. Okay, 10% of 70. What would I do for 10%? So what would that be? 0.10. What do I do for of? And then 70. Do it in your calculator. This one. 0.10 times 70. Okay, what do we get?
7.
Okay, 75% of 8. What do I do to 75%? What do I do for of? And then 8. Plug it in your calculator.
6.
Okay, what do we get? Okay, I want you to do 4 and 5. You done or you have a question? No. They're easy enough. Okay, I'm looking for pencils down. Hey, what do we get on number 4?
34.
What do we get on number 5? 18. So if you choose to do it this way, do I have to see what you multiplied?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I have to see it. All right. A football team scored 70% of a total of 400 points in the first 11 games. So what are we trying to find? 70% of what was the total? 400. So we want to know how many points did they score in those first 11 games? So do it. Huh? Hey, what do we get? 280 what? Points. So in their first 11 games, they scored 280 points. Cassie is painting a rectangular wall in her bedroom. The wall is 12 by 15 feet. What am I going to have to find for that wall? The area. So how would I find that? So the area is 180 square feet. She plans on painting the top 20% of the wall green and the rest of the wall tan. What's the area of the wall that she plans to paint green? So we're going to find 25% of the whole wall. What's the whole wall? 180 square feet. Find that. Off to the side, I want you to write what you would multiply, okay?
What?
Off to the side, write what you put in the calculator. Hey, what did we get?
36.
So what area will she paint green? 36 what?
Square feet.
Square feet. Okay, let's look at number 9. The regular price of sneakers is $40. The sale price is 25% off the regular price. What's the sale price? So what do I have to find? 25% of 40. Okay, so what would that be?
10.
Does that mean the sneakers cost $10? It's $10 off the original price. So now how much would the sneakers cost?
30.
How'd you get that? 40 minus 10 equals $30. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at let's look at the homework. Okay, number 1, a football team scored 80% of a total of 500 points in the first 11 games of the season. We're not going to fill in the model. I just want you to tell me what is 80% of 500. Okay, look at me. All eyes on me real quick. Look at me. Creighton, look at me. Hey, if you're just going to do 0.80 times 500, I have to see that, right? I have to know what you put in the calculator. What are we going to label that one as? Points. Okay, about 71% of Earth's surface is covered in water. If the surface area of the Earth is about 196,900,000 square miles, how many square miles are covered in water? How would I find that? 71% of 196,900,000. Okay, you have to write it there, right? About what percent of the Earth's surface is not covered in water? So 71% is water. What is not? What's the rest of it? What percent would that be? What am I minusing? No.
29.
How'd you get that?
In my head.
What did you subtract in your head? 100 minus 29 equals, not 29, 100 minus 71 is 29%. So now you want to find what area is not covered in water. So what are you going to find? 29% of that big number. Okay, it's in the calculator, right? That's not hard. Okay, the metal bar shows an alloy of silver and other metals. If the silver accounts for 84% of the bar's weight, what is the weight of the silver? So 84% of the bar's weight. What's the bar's weight?
80.
No.
7.5.
So you're going to find what? Good. What will you label it as? Ounces. If 9% of the bar's weight is iron, how much does the iron weigh? So 9% of the bar's weight. Well, what was the bar's weight? 7.5 ounces, right? So you're going to find 9% of 7.5. What will you label that as? Ounces. Okay, number 5, you're going to find 30% of 180. Again, if you put it in the calculator, I have to know what you put in the calculator. Number 6, you're going to do A, B, C, and D. I also want you to do E. Tell me what pattern you see. 7, 8, 9, and 10, you'll solve. Again, I have to know what you put in the calculator. 11, of 140 total people at a movie, 40% of the people bought popcorn, 30% bought pretzels, and 10% of the people bought pizza. How many people bought each item? Okay, so what was the percent that bought popcorn? 40. So you're going to find what of what?
3% of 140.
What would you put in the calculator?
140.
Good. Okay, I have to see that. What will you label it as? No. What's it asking for?
People.
People. Okay, what percent of the people bought pretzels?
30.
What percent of the people bought pizza? 10. Make sure you label each one and show your work. A circle graph shows the percent of votes of the winning candidate received in a local election. About how many votes did the winning candidate receive? What are you going to find here? 63%. Good. There are 80 marbles in a bag. If 30 of the marbles are green, 30% of the marbles are green. How many marbles are not green? So what percent are not green? 30% are. What percent are not? So we want to find 70% of what?
80.
Corbin, are you getting this? I'm moving on, dude. So you're going to find what is 70% of 80. What will you label that one as? Marbles. Again, I have to see what you put in the calculator. Lamar earns 40% of his money moving furniture. If he earns $150 in total, how much money did he earn moving furniture? What are you trying to find?
40%.
Good. Barry entered a singing competition. 3 of 15 judges voted for him to go to the semifinals. What percent of the judges voted for him? So what's our ratio in the judges?
150.
3 over
15.
3 out of 15. We want to find the percent. So what are we trying to get to? We have to figure out how to get from 15 to 100, right? Work backwards and we get
6.
times that. I'm going to take that number times 3 and we get 20%. So what percent of the judges voted for him?
20%.
Okay, write all of that down.
Wait, what's the thing for it?
The label was percent.
Is it 6.66?
It could keep going. You could keep going and add your 7 at the end, but that's fine. 0.66 is fine. Pencils down, eyes on me when you have that.
Did you say 0.66?
Yeah, 0.66, 6.66. Just do 6.66 there. Okay, come on, Dale, are you done? All right. Okay, on the spiral review, you may not use a calculator. So if I don't see your work, you're going to get it all wrong. Even if you get the answer right, I'm taking all the points off, okay? No calculator. A bakery packages 868 muffins into 31 boxes. The same number of muffins are put into each box. How many muffins are in each box? So I have all of these muffins, and I'm going to put them into boxes. What am I doing? We're going to divide. Order these numbers from least to greatest, so from smallest to biggest. Okay, find the quotient, find the answer. Which number goes inside the house? The first one, right? So you're going to do 560 divided by 1.4. What's my rule when I'm dividing decimals?
Move your decimal from the outside to the inside.
Right, so if you have a decimal on the outside, you have to move it, right? Move it over 1. What I do on the outside, I move it 1. So now it's like you're going to take 5,600 divided by 14. 10.2 divided by 100. Which one goes inside the house? No, the first number. Do I have to move the decimal? No. Is there a decimal on the outside? So do I have to move it? 0.72 divided by 0.09. Which one goes inside the house? Do I have to move a decimal? 9.5 divided by 500. Which one goes inside the house? Do I have to move a decimal?
Yeah.
No. But can 500 go into 95?
Yeah.
It can?
No.
So what are you going to have to do? Add a 0. 0.8 divided by 46. Which one goes inside the house? 0.80, I guess. Divided by... Huh?
19 just read 300.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm moving on. Okay, 13 divided by 0.04. Which one goes inside the house? Then what do I have to do? Move the decimal. I move it twice. 1, 2. Here I have to move it twice, right? 1, 2. So now it's like 1,300 divided by 4. Do I have to see the work on all of those? Yes. Okay, questions, comments, concerns? We're not going to get it done today, so we will finish it tomorrow. For the spiral review, will you need a show your work piece of paper? Yeah, so go ahead and grab one of those.